Jake grew up in a poor neighborhood in the United States, where every day was a battle for survival. His family lived in a tiny, rundown apartment, and money was always tight. His father worked multiple low-paying jobs, while his mother did her best to care for Jake and his younger sister. Despite their hardships, Jake dreamed of a better life, one where he wouldn't have to worry about his next meal or whether his family could afford rent. As a teenager, Jake attended school, but often found it hard to concentrate. He would come home to see his parents exhausted, their faces lined with stress. He wanted to help, but opportunities were scarce for someone his age. By the time he turned 16, Jake made the tough decision to drop out of school to support his family. It was a painful choice, but he knew his family needed him more than ever. Jake took on small jobs, from washing dishes in diners to sweeping floors in grocery stores. But these jobs barely paid enough to help his family's financial situation. One day he noticed a group of immigrant workers riding rickshaws, ferrying people around the city for a small fee. Intrigued, he approached an old man who owned a few rickshaws and asked for a job. The man, seeing Jake's determination, agreed to rent him a rickshaw under the condition that he paid a daily fee from his earnings. For months, Jake pedaled tirelessly through the city, picking up passengers, learning the fastest routes, and working long hours. He would wake up before sunrise and not return home until late at night, his legs aching with exhaustion. Yet, despite the physical toll, he felt a newfound sense of purpose. He was earning more than before and could finally contribute meaningfully to his family's expenses. Over time, Jake became one of the most recognized rickshaw drivers in his area. His polite nature, honesty, and hard-working attitude earned him many loyal customers. Some even tipped him generously after hearing his story. But Jake wasn't satisfied with just making ends meet. He had bigger dreams. He started saving every extra dollar he earned. He would repair and maintain his rickshaw himself to avoid extra expenses. Within 2 years, he had enough savings to buy his own rickshaw. No longer having to pay rental fees, his profits increased significantly. Seeing his success, he set a new goal: to buy more rickshaws and rent them out to other drivers, just as the old man had done for him. Slowly but steadily, Jake expanded his small business. He purchased a second rickshaw, then a third. He hired other young men who were struggling, just as he once had. He treated his workers fairly, ensuring they earned a decent wage while he saved to expand further. One day, while transporting a businessman, Jake struck up a conversation about his aspirations. The businessman, impressed by Jake's determination and work ethic, advised him to look into motorized transportation, suggesting that it had more growth potential. The idea stuck with Jake, and he started researching. With his savings and a small loan, Jake bought a second-hand van and started offering affordable rides in the city. This venture quickly proved to be more profitable than the rickshaws. He sold his rickshaws and focused entirely on motorized transport. His first van led to another, and soon he had a small fleet of vehicles providing taxi and delivery services. Jake worked relentlessly, learning everything he could about the transport industry. He studied market trends, sought advice from business owners, and gradually built a reputation as a reliable and efficient service provider. His fleet grew, and he secured contracts for package deliveries and corporate transportation. Years passed, and Jake's one-man operation had transformed into a full-fledged transportation company. He now owned multiple offices, hired employees, and managed a growing fleet of vehicles. His company provided ride-sharing, logistics, and freight services across several states. Despite his success, Jake never forgot his roots. He set up programs to help struggling youths get jobs and even funded scholarships for those who wanted to continue their education. His company became known not just for its services, but for its dedication to uplifting the community. One day, as Jake looked out of his office window at the city where he once pedaled a rickshaw, he felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. From a poor boy with nothing but determination, he had built an empire. But more importantly, he had proven that with hard work, resilience, and a dream, anything was possible.